The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 15th day of July, 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and a big thank you to HSBC Bermuda for ensuring that we're able to pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamel Hartman, and we'll have a news break a bit later from Maya Palacio. How's everyone feeling? It's the second day of the traditional work week, and guess what? We are one day closer. I'm going to keep saying it. One day closer to St. George's finally wrestling their cup back. Yep, I said it. We are one day closer to the champs in waiting. Somerset, polish our cup. Polish our cup. I know I said for the first 5 months of the year, I said, I'm not going to trash talk. I'll let my team do the talking on the field. And then something just happened. Something happened. Something changed. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not going to let up. Where my St. George's people at? Let me see you. Let's get loud now. Let's get loud. If you're in your car driving on the Reddit, just give a little honk. Let people know. I mean, I would tell Somerset people to honk the horns, but they probably don't work. I cracked myself up. Nick Hassel was in the audience using profanity this morning. She says Somerset with a red heart and a blue heart. Dr. Anthony Richardson, such a respectful gentleman, says St. Joe. Yeah, okay, we know what's up. Let's get loud, folks. Let's get loud. Audience, next week, I'm going to be giving out like Somerset and St. George's towels, right? Daily Hour, Somerset, St. George's towels. And I'm going to be giving out some like mugs and stuff. So I'll let you know where I'm going to be, but you've got to tune into the show. But we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways. I'm going to be giving away some gift cards for you, all right, so that you can have some money to spend at where I'm going to be. So make sure you are following Daily Hour on social media and you remain tuned into the show so that you know where I'll be next week Wednesday, all right? So next week, Wednesday, I'm going to be giving out some stuff, help you, give you some cash, cash cards. You get what I'm saying, and some other stuff. So rock with us. We are St. George's rolling deep. We've got Kathy Rogers. We got Rosalind Famous. Yeah, this is the St. George's show, I guess. I mean, we're the Somerset folks. What, you scared? You're not showing up? Yeah, like your team probably won't show up on the day either. Chickens. Anyway, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome the 2025 Bermuda Idol winner, Serilina Fisher, onto the show. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, I heard some great things about her beautiful voice, so looking forward. Maybe she'll give us a little sample of something today. A little do, re, mi. I know. You all didn't pay for that, so I'll go easy. Maybe she can teach me how to hit those notes, because I think I'm is it a soprano? Or an alto, or see, I know those things. Well, I'm a bass. That's what I'm going to be. So maybe her and I will do a duet a bit later in the show, but looking forward to having the 2025 Bermuda Idol winner, Serilina Fisher, joining us in a bit. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, it's time for the daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking. Well, we've got some Somerset fans in the audience. We've got Renee Simmons. She is using profanity, the S word, Somerset, and some red and blue hearts. We've got Kenton Trott, showing his blue and blue. And Suzanne Ingham, of course, our wonderful St. George's folks, says super awesome Tuesday. Jamala Myers showing her blue hearts off and the like. Well, she's asking Raj and Sanch and Sherry. Yeah, they're playing hooky from work. Yeah, they haven't been. But it's your birthday tomorrow, Suzanne. Every audience, please wish Suzanne a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy New Year. Wishing you a wonderful day and all that you choose to do. May it be everything you'd like, want, and need. All right, folks, let's jump into today's discussion. Not sure if you've been paying attention, but there's this boycott going on in the US of Target. Target is one of many Fortune 500 companies which have rolled back on their DEI. And I don't really get the protests. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've said it on this show. I don't understand it, especially Black people. I don't get it. I don't get why. So what is the point or purpose of the protest? I've had these discussions, disagreements with people. It's not like Dr. King boycotting, was it Coca-Cola and Wonder Bread or Pepsi, whatever it was. But I think in 2025, the purpose of a boycott should be to build your own, right? Build your own Target. Because my question to anyone who's boycotting Target is, okay, so instead of going to Target, where are you going? And if that place that you're going to, do you know their DEI policies? Question of the morning is, what are your thoughts on organizations rolling back their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies? Has this reached Bermuda? Is anyone in Bermuda impacted by this? Because you know what they say, the United States sneezes, Bermuda catches a cold. So Bermuda usually follows suit, right? And do you think DEI has been beneficial? Do you think diversity, equity, and inclusion has been beneficial in businesses and organizations? Now, I know in Bermuda, in certain sectors, you have people who have held DEI positions. They've been responsible for diversity, equity, and inclusion. But what are your thoughts on organizations rolling back? T-Mobile, that's who I've been with for the last 20 years, according to them. They just recently, it's USA Today reported 5 days ago, T-Mobile disconnects from DEI under pressure from Trump administration. And T-Mobile, scrapped DEI programs while seeking crucial FCC approval for major business deals. So they're like, oh, we need new deals. We're not going forward with DEI, right? But then there was a report last month about some of the major companies that have rolled back their DEI. So my question is, for those folks who are boycotting the likes of Target, are you going to boycott T-Mobile? Are you going to boycott all these companies that you support? And in a Bermuda context, do we even know what companies support DEI or not? Personally, this may upset people. I've never been a fan of DEI. To answer that question, I don't think DEI has been beneficial. I think it's satisfied, right? I think it has satisfied egos and feelings. It's made people feel better. But I don't know where it's moved the needle. But audience, yes or no question. Do you think DEI has been beneficial? But also, what are your thoughts on organizations rolling back their DEI policies? Like, what do you care? Do you care whether a pharmacy in Bermuda says we're going to put Bermuda products first? Does it matter to you? Zayn CT says organizations rolling back DEI was inevitable with the new Trump administration. It's like rainbow capitalism, pinkwashing, all smoke and mirrors with no monumental efforts to enact change. I agree, Zayn. At the end of the day, I never understood why people got behind this DEI business. It was never for us. It was about making people feel good. And the truth of the matter is, and don't take offense to this, but a certain kind of Black person was appointed to certain positions for the feel-good stuff. I just read something on LinkedIn, quite a few reports that I've sent to people on WhatsApp, that Black women in the United States are losing jobs and positions in droves. This is what happens when we rock with DEI, because there's no security in that. Administrations change, and you see where I'm going? DEI was never going to work long term. It was political posturing. It was not strategy. It was political. It was about feelings. And we're not honest about that because we got caught up in how we feel and how things make us feel. We don't possess what's needed inside each of us to do for self. We're programmed. We're chasing the dollar to survive. And the way we do that is I have to go and find a job and work for someone to be able to support myself, rather than sacrificing to build a community where I don't have to rely on DEI. Dr. Anthony Richardson says businesses were only riding on the DEI wave for profit-making purposes. For this reason, it wouldn't last for long. Not much has changed in the DEI sphere. I'm going to say it. I worked in an organization that the only Black people that worked at this organization were in entry-level positions. And they asked a bunch of people to come up with this DEI program. And they were saying, oh, well, let's put some women and LGBT and Black people on the cover. I'm like, that's optics. That's not real change. That's not what's really going on. We were sold optics with DEI. We got gut. So I just don't see, and a lot of comfortable people sitting in offices, they're complaining, oh, his this and that. Folks, all I'll say is, tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. There's never, I mean, DEI did nothing to move, to progress those who were marginalized. It satisfied feelings for a very short period of time. And we're not honest about that, because we wanted to make ourselves believe that this was meaningful change. I know there's rumors going around that Stevie Wonder can see. He addressed those, he can. But even Stevie Wonder could see that DEI was never about meaningful change. And look where we are today. You thought we took 5 steps forward. Well, we certainly took 15 back. What are your thoughts on organizations? I mean, we wouldn't even know in Bermuda because we don't even report that kind of data. But I'll tell you what, T-Mobile rolling back on their DEI ain't making me change my policy or my plan or my phone company, because I don't even know what Verizon or Boost or AT&T is. And quite frankly, I don't care. I would rather folks go create our own cell phone company and then we can talk. But we don't operate like that. Absolutely not sure what Kathy Dell Haywood Ming is saying absolutely to. But she can let us know. Anika DeShield says DEI in the USA was always a benefit to many minorities, other people of color. How? How did it benefit them? It satisfied them for a few months or minutes. You know, there's this thing where people are finally coming to terms with HR, human resources, that HR and human resources are not for this employee, it's for the company. That's what DEI is. It was never for the employee. It was never for you. I'm keeping it real with you. I've addressed this on this show. Anyone who works with a company that I run or own, they're not here because they're a woman or they're white or they're Black. They're here because they're actually good enough. I understand the purpose of DEI. I remember having a conversation about Bill Henbury, the first CEO of the BTA. And white gentleman, Bermudian, had said to me, well, why can't we just hire the best person for the job? Why does race and nationality have to play a role? And I said, what has the right person traditionally looked like? And he said, oh, white man. I said, that's my point. And it's not because the white male was always the best for the position. They just had privilege. So I understand why DEI came about. What I'm simply saying, and prove me wrong, how has it moved the needle? And don't give me something, oh, well, we have more Black women in position. What positions? Because my LinkedIn shows me, oh, they created this DEI role for a Black woman. I predicted those roles would be gone in 2 years. Well, LinkedIn tells me I'm right. LinkedIn also has been telling me, as of late, that Black women in the United States are losing more jobs than any other group. Black men didn't even have the positions to lose them. I'll tell you one group that truly didn't benefit from DEI. But you can pick the bones out of that. Sheikha Rana says, there's never been any security in a DEI position, evidenced by how quickly it's been erased inside some companies, like it never existed. Teams, editorial, images. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a facade. But we like to feel good. We love to feel good. Charles H. Jefferson II says, I think many have advocated for DEI policies as opposed to advocating for a cultural change. Now you're hitting it now, Charles. A cultural change requires those in leadership to ensure that there's diversity throughout the organization. And you create cultural change by being intentional. Many have focused on DEI because all it is optics. If you can make, oh, we appoint this Black person right here. Well, they can't say that we don't have Black people in the organization, but what positions do they have? DEI is not having an organization of 40 people and then hiring 3 Black people in entry-level positions. And let me address this because people love to say, oh, well, DEI is not just about Black. Well, Black people were certainly used to create it, but we're definitely down the bottom of the shoe, the gum on the bottom of the shoe when it comes to benefiting from it. And of every and any group, you read the data. I'm not telling you, you read the data. Kathy Delhay-Ming says, looking at this from a perspective of disabilities, I'm glad you said that. I was on this DEI committee, and they spoke about every group. And I said, but we've yet to address disabilities. And the room went silent. And I said, because it's not sexy enough. It doesn't get you the likes and views and the pats on the back. Thank you for that. Because I remember that conversation. It didn't fulfill the optics that they were trying to portray. Zane CT says, just the fact that DEI was so quickly repealed and the US government is removing prominent Black, brown, queer historical figures and simply labeling them as DEI never set right with me. And that's because many of the companies went about it the wrong way. We may not like what I'm about to say, but this is fact. And many of you know this is true because even in a Bermuda context, the best of us do not get rewarded. They go to people who others like. And that's what happened with DEI. It wasn't the best, to quote Zane DT, it wasn't the best Black, brown, and queer figures. It was the ones who were not going to disturb. And to go back to what Charles H. Jefferson II said, it went back to those who would not try to proceed with cultural change, which is the real change. They chose the people who were less of a threat. And that's why it's so easy to do away with DEI. That makes sense? Richard Scott says, the institution enacting or taking advantage of policies with ill intent on all parties, employer and employees, will eventually crash and burn. We'll see. Time will tell, because I tell you, Richard, The continuous boycotts with no end goal, I always go back to 2020 when we had, I like to call it the march to nowhere in Bermuda, right? Had all these people down Front Street. And then what? There has to be a strategy and a plan. You cannot just protest. When you go back in time, in Bermuda in particular, the riots, the union movements, even the People's Campaign, Bermudians Against the Draft, there was an end goal. DEI, what is the end goal? To see more of us employed in spaces where we're not wanted? Or is it to finally realize we have the skills to do for self? Dr. Anthony Richardson says, I've attended DEI meetings in places like New York, Toronto, and London. It was clear these organizations were simply ticking boxes they felt were forced, kicking and screaming, put into place DEI policies. It was clear that many of the businesses didn't want to hire persons of color, women. Absolutely. Absolutely. Folks, this was your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking. Let's show them some love. We're going to have a news break by Maya. We have a very special guest. I really am looking forward to this. We want to support a talented young Bermudian, young Serilina Fisher coming up. But let's show some love and appreciation and gratitude to our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All righty. Well. Let's go to the news break. And folks, I've got to tell you something. Today marks something that I want to share with you. And I'll do that immediately following the news break. Don't go anywhere. In the meantime, whatever platform you may be streaming on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, or Instagram, please give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Here's my applause here with your Daily Hour news break.
Good morning. This is your Daily Hour news break brought to you by the good people at People's Pharmacy. Are you ready to glow? Well, People's Pharmacy is giving away everything you need to kickstart your summer, from Palladio beauty picks to Glow Mood body care and a floral tumbler to keep it cute and cool. So you can follow People's BDA on TikTok and Instagram and tag 2 of your besties and share to win. Now, leading into the headlines of your news stories this morning. Road collisions and violence surge. There's a growing concern over a string of serious road collisions and a violent assault over the past few days, prompting a renewed call from police for drivers and riders to slow down and stay alert. Between Saturday and Monday, at least 4 major crashes were reported, several involving head injuries and emergency hospitalizations. Early Saturday morning in St. George's, 2 men riding a motorcycle were injured after crashing into the back of an SUV on Kinleyfield Road. One suffered head injuries and drifted in and out of consciousness. The driver of the SUV, a woman, was treated for neck injuries. That same night, around 8:15 p.m., a man was assaulted by 2 individuals outside a residence on Dunscombe Road in Warwick. He was attacked after a brief exchange of words and sustained a head injury. The suspects fled on a motorcycle and have not yet been caught. In the early hours of Sunday morning, 2 women were seriously injured in a head-on collision between 2 cars on South Road in Southampton. One driver was trapped inside her vehicle and had to be extricated by firefighters. Both were taken to the hospital with head injuries. Then on Monday, a single vehicle crash near Dock Hill and North Shore Road left a motorcyclist with head injuries. He was also reportedly drifting in and out of consciousness. Traffic was restricted in the area while police processed the scene. In response, the Bermuda Police Service has issued a strong public warning. They say the rise in serious crashes is deeply troubling, especially as the island enters the busy summer season. Police are urging road users to slow down, avoid distractions, and never drive impaired. The public is also asked to use caution in high pedestrian areas like Hamilton, as reports of speeding in the city have also increased. Moving on to island-wide debates regarding the roadside banners, the government has weighed in. Minister for the Cabinet Office and Digital Innovation Diallo Bain addressed the House of Assembly on the growing concerns around the use of signs and banners, a conversation that's divided public opinion on what's considered promotional versus pollution.
The feedback that we've received has been consistent. The current system does not work. Enforcement alone cannot resolve the underlying problem. Updating the legal framework is essential.
Closing out with your news this morning, a historic renaming honors one of Bermuda's literary giants. The Bermuda Youth Library will officially be renamed the Florence Webb Maxwell Youth Library, paying tribute to the trailblazing writer, librarian, and advocate who inspired generations through words and service. And as for your weather this morning, we're serving up sunshine with a side of clouds and maybe a quick splash of showers. Winds will keep things breezy as well today, keeping it a little light and moderate. And yes, it's going to be another scorcher. Temperatures will climb to a high of 89 degrees. So try to stay hydrated and find that shade when you can. I'm Maya Palacio. That's your Daily Hour News Break. Now let's take it back to the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Maya. Hydrate, folks, and big congratulations to Mrs. Florence Maxwell. She invited me in her home last year this time. Amazing lady, had a wonderful talk. I mean, we talked all day. These are the things we need to do. We need to be honoring people and giving them their flowers while they're still here. As far as days of the year, I want to share something personal with you also. This week, it makes 6 years since I last drank an alcoholic beverage. People often ask me, how were you able to quit? But here's the thing, I tell them, I actually didn't quit. I was just taking a break that has now lasted 6 years. People assume I was in AA. I was at a conference in Las Vegas, and everyone was drinking, and they asked if I wanted one, and I said no. And this lady said, "Oh, were you a part of such and such program?" I was like, "No, what is that?" "Oh, it's AA." So people assume, especially in a community like Bermuda, when you don't drink, that you had some sort of problem, and maybe I did. But what really inspired me was the fact that my mother in early 2019, she wasn't a drinker or a smoker, but she was diagnosed with lung cancer, and I decided myself to make a lifestyle change. I enjoyed a good social drink, and I had a good social life in bars after work and going to parties, and having a beverage was my thing. But these last 6 years have taught me something. It's taught me that there's so much fun still to be had without substance assistance, right? My nana once said, if the only thing you do with your friends is drink at bars, they aren't your friends. My choice not to consume alcoholic beverages, it really only impacted the relationships that were not genuine. But to this day, I still rock with the same people without pressure nor judgment. And it hasn't really impacted any friendships because most of them were not based on us drinking and getting drunk together. So I want to leave you all with this. Enjoy life how you choose to, but be responsible. Don't do anything that may lead to harming others or even yourself. I'm grateful that I'm here today to share my story or my testimony or these words with you. So be encouraged, but please be responsible. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with our guest for the day. We've got Serilina Fisher coming up. She is Bermuda Idol 2025. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Bermuda holidays are a time when we celebrate our community, traditions, and the beauty of Bermuda. HSBC is deeply rooted in the community and proud once again to be the lead sponsor of Cup Match. Somerset! St. George's!
St. George's.
Whether you're heading east to watch Cup Match in person or spending time camping, boating, swimming, or simply relaxing, no matter which team you choose, Cup Match is one of the most spectacular and energizing events, bringing the entire island together in celebration of Emancipation Day and Merry Prince Day. Wishing all of Bermuda a happy Cup Match from HSBC, and may the best team win.
Somerset. St. George's.
HSBC, opening up a world of opportunity.
96 degrees, real hot, oh yes.
Summer season.
Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I am Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and a big thank you to HSBC for ensuring that we are able to pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. Folks, please do us a favor. Do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. In the words of our number one, or one of our top TDH community members, Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he, in his words, you're all tuned in, but you ain't liking, loving, or sharing, so that as many people as you know have access to these community conversations as possible. So do us that favor, because what we want to do is ensure that as many Bermudians get to know our next guest. She's a performer, she's a singer, and she is a winner. She won Bermuda Idol 2025, put on by Inter-Island Communications. Let's give a warm TDH welcome to Serilina Fisher. Hello, how are you?
Good morning. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. You know, usually, I'm not sure how old you are, but you look kind of young, and young people like you are usually in the bed till like 10 or 11.
I mean, that would have been my plan if I wasn't happy to see you today.
Oh, my. You know what? You look wide awake. You look as excited as we are. So we're happy that you did wake up early and you're here with us. Serilina, thank you for your patience. Thanks for coming on. Before we get into anything today, just tell the audience a bit about your background, like who you are, what school you go.
Of course. My name is Serilina. I'm now 15. I go to Work Academy, and I'm a musician. I do some guitar, piano, ukulele, a little bit. I busk. You might see me in town busking or in Dockyard. I songwrite. I'm into all the arts. So yeah, that's me.
Wow. Okay. Stevie Wonder would be. Wow, I tell you. Well, congratulations. You seem very talented.
Thank you.
You know, I'll be honest. Personally, I always wanted to learn to play an instrument, but yeah,
It's a thing to do. It connects a lot of people around you.
Yeah, but I love to, you know, bump my
You
head.
should get into it.
You know
Maybe
what?
we'll take you up on that duet offer.
Well, no, you were paying attention earlier. You were paying attention. So I can see it now. Jamel and Serilina, or Serilina and Jamel, and me and that bass. I can do the talking part that the guy in Boys to Men used to do back in the day.
That's actually smart. Smart. Okay, we have a plan now.
Yeah. You sing and I'll talk. Yeah. We can make it work.
Do the ad-libs. Yeah.
Yeah. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Serilina, send them through. But congratulations on being crowned Bermuda Idol. But take us back a bit before we get into that. Take us back. When did you or your family first realize you had a gift for the arts and music and singing, and what inspired you to pursue it?
It's actually a crazy thing because you can talk to my parents. Not many of the people in my family or like close family can sing or like are musically inclined. So it was like usually you'd be in a musical family and you'd all be like talented, and that's where it came from. But I think it's just God-given, you know. Ever since I could speak, like I was singing along to songs on the radio. My mom would take videos of me. I'd make songs, and it's just always been my passion at heart.
Wow, that's amazing. And let's talk about Bermuda Idol now. Again, congratulations. When they announced you, what was it like standing on that stage earlier this year, the moment they announced your name?
Like I've been on, I wouldn't say a lot of stages, but by now I'm used to being on the stage. I love being in front of people. I love sharing my music with them. But standing on that stage when you have like 16 contestants, like the whole crowd going crazy, there's judge panel in front of you, there's names being called, there's 4 names going to be called on the night, and one, Mr. Walker goes, everybody in the show was supportive. I have to thank everyone, thank all the sponsors, thank Mr. and Mrs. Blakeney, everybody who helped me to get there. But geez, like Mr. Walker gets called for the prize. Then Tyler Ray gets called third. That surprised me. I was like, whew, if he got there, I it's still surreal to this day. I mean, I was expecting like third or second or top 5 maybe. When third came Tyler Ray, like Tyler Ray's an amazing singer. He's placed in almost every Bermuda Idol. So I was like, man, I can't get ahead of him. Then my friend Mikailo's next to me. I was like, oh, amazing, she came second. Like, who came first? I was thinking there was an amazing lady. I was thinking like she's gonna win. Like, there's always next year. I was already thinking there's always next year. I came for the experience. Like, I had gone in the year before. I can't speak. The year before, and I had just gone in for the experience. I had actually learned about going into the auditions the day before, and then we just like woken up the next morning and been like, let's go. And I sang Shallow, and I ended up going in. I didn't make it in the top 5, so I was like, there's no way this year I'm gonna win. They called my name. I like, after all those intense emotions, I just cried. Like, I had no idea that was gonna happen, but I'm so thankful.
What song did you sing, or songs did you sing that night? And what was the final one that you think got you over the line?
So my first song, I had planned it specifically so that the last one would be like jaw-dropping. I'd planned it with Miss Joy. So thank you so much, Miss Joy Barnum. And the first one was You Say by Lauren Daigle. I chose 2 uplifting songs because I know like that's what everyone needs. And that was a powerful one. That was a Christian one. And then my last one that really pushed it was Rise Up, Andrew Day. Funny story for that one. I was supposed to have a seat that I like rised up from. They forgot it, so then I was even more nervous, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. Like, but yeah, you have to have the show go on, and I think that's a good life lesson.
Well, so as I'm listening to you, I mean, it seems very intense. You know, working with powerhouses like Miss Joy Barnum. But you know, what were some of the most challenging things about the competition, and what did you learn most about yourself as a performer from this?
Okay, so To be honest, it's easy for me to adjust to stages like that because I've been on all my life, and I thought like it was exciting to me. Like I know you can get a bit of a lot of people get nervous, but I think that's part of the excitement of it and makes it all the more worth it, to be honest. But the most challenging thing, I know a lot of people struggled with that. Everybody backstage, like you can hear above you that the performance is going on, and there's no Wi-Fi downstairs, so I couldn't listen to music and like tune out and go. 'Cause usually before a competition, I'll or a performance, I'll listen to music, get in my own world, calm down my heart rate. There's no Wi-Fi down there. I was so scared. That was probably the worst bit, the anxiety.
That's interesting. That's you're probably thinking, oh, that person sounds great. How am I going to top that? Or yeah, I can imagine the psyche of that audience. If you have any questions or comments or congratulatory words, please send them through. You mentioned you played instruments. There are people who just sing. I think Luther Vandross was one who was a wonderful singer, but apparently couldn't read music, if I remember correctly. How has playing instruments actually helped you as an artist and a singer?
Well, I started playing guitar with Mr. Ace and singing with Miss Joy, but I have to thank Miss Rakisha as well, who helped me in the Idol. But I started in primary school, which was like year 3, and like it was part of a mandatory program in public school. And you know, it's helped me a lot. I started writing music and writing my own songs on the guitar, and especially as someone like I find it difficult to like music theory and all that. I'm working on it so that I can really be amazing at music, but playing piano, playing guitar, it gave me an insight into what I need to learn to become a great musician.
Indeed, I love it. Want to be well-rounded. What are your hopes and goals moving forward as a singer and performer? Like, where do you want to go with this? How do you want to utilize your talents to help you in life?
Well, it seems like I've already kind of written myself into Bermudian history, so next step is the world history. So hopefully I can get my step into the music industry. I want to share my music with everybody and just make people feel better through my music and connect people.
Indeed. We've got a question from the audience. Zane CT's question for Serilina. What was your experience winning the Heather Nova Singer-Songwriter Contest? Tell us a bit about that contest.
So this is another competition that I have to thank Heather too, because she's been amazing. I recently went away to open for 2 of her shows in Europe, and she's a wonderful person. I actually learned a lot from her in like the songwriting industry. And I'm so excited that I have her as a mentor. Winning the competition, I went into this one twice. The first time I didn't place, but the second one, you can see a few of my songs on my YouTube, Serilina Sings, or my other media platforms. But she really helped me develop my songs, and I'm grateful for all the time she spent with me.
Indeed. How has the local community and your peers, how have your peers responded to you, and your music? I know Bermuda's very small. It's very small, so people can overlook things. But how have your peers and your classmates and family and friends responded to you winning, Bermuda Idol among other contests?
I've learned that there's always going to be both sides to a story. There's always going to be people who are really supportive of you. And I'm thankful for all the people who have been, like my parents, my family, my friends. And then there's going to be people who don't say anything or aren't so supportive. And that's okay. Like, you move past that, you use that to fuel you. And I think the fact that I have people who are supporting me is wonderful. But the only, what's the word? Validation that I need to continue doing what I love, doing my music, is my own, because I love doing it.
Indeed, absolutely. Rosalind Famous says, congratulations on your talent. Keep going. Mark Arthur C. Phillips asks him a question. He says, who's a song composer that inspires you?
Song composers. Now, well, I would say Heather, of course, but probably I was supposed to sing one of what's her name? Oh no. One of her songs for Bermuda Idol, but I switched it last minute. It was I keep on falling. Alicia Keys. Yes. I love Alicia Keys so much. Why did I have a brain fart? Alicia Keys. Oh my gosh, I love some of her songs. But I have to say some of my favorite like artists would be like Lana Del Rey, Cleo Sol. Billie Eilish is someone I take a lot of inspiration from. Lady Gaga, SZA, Adele, like that. Those kinds of musicians, definitely female musicians mainly.
Where can people go? I know you said you do busking and whatever, but where can people see you perform and support you as you try to rise and go global?
You can actually book me at my website Serilina.com or see me on my socials. I'll definitely post like when I'm going somewhere or performing somewhere at Serilina Sings, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. And hopefully over the summer you'll see me in Dockyard, the mall, but you'll catch me anywhere.
Your name, I must ask, because folks, some people just are born with star names, right? Where does your name come from? Serilina, like that's just a star name in itself.
I have to thank my dad for that because my true name is Sari, but like people call me that, Sari for short. But my dad actually he's quite creative too in the arts thing. He called me Serilina as a child, so I was like, that's a good name. I'll use that as my stage name. So now my stage name is Serilina.
I love it. I love it. Dad was creative. He knew what he was doing. He knew a star was born. We have Suzanne Ingham. She says, congratulations. You have a wonderful and very pleasant high level of energy.
Thank you.
For other young people listening, there are some people listening on their way to camp with their parents, and there are people who have young children and they're tuned into you right now. What advice would you give them about chasing their passion and stepping into the spotlight?
I would say just go for it. Like the spotlight can be an intimidating place, and the music industry is definitely an intimidating one, but when you want something enough, you're willing to put yourself out there to go for it. And I think the only thing that can happen, the worst that can happen, is just being told no, and then you try again. So I want to thank my parents for definitely being supportive for me and all my family too, my aunties, because they're the ones that pushed me to go for my dreams. I mean, it's easy to give up. It's easy to say, well, I'll just go for something that's not so out there. But it's for you in the end. Like it's your life. And I think as long as you're happy, as long as you're doing what you love, and I once in Canada, I once went to a show. It was a bubble show when I was very young. And I will always remember the man saying, if you love your job, you don't work a day in your life. And I've thought about that. And I know this is what I want to do. So why shouldn't I do it? And why shouldn't you?
I love it. I love it. You're awesome. I must ask you before we let you go, though. What's your cop match team?
You're going to fight me here, okay? I live all the way in Somerset, which is why I couldn't make it to you today. But I have to support both teams because I'm Bermudian and I love everybody. I have family on both teams, and I don't want to cause issues here.
Okay, she's neutral, but based on what you're wearing today, I'm going to say you're for St. George's today. Okay.
For today.
What would you say? Because I feel the love for your parents and the way they supported you. And what would you say to other parents who, they have talented young people? What could they learn from your parents?
My parents have done a good job of pushing me into anything they could, like competitions. You'll see me in art, songwriting, poetry, anything I can get into. And it's just grown me as a person, as an individual, grown my skills. And I would definitely urge parents to do that for their kids, because you see the recycled winners in the competitions in Bermuda. And I want some competition, guys. So come on out here and enroll, because the worst that can happen is that you don't get in.
Yeah.
nobody really knows that it's not even a loss. Nobody will know. But if you continue going in, you win. You'll win some money, you'll win some recognition, and you win that feeling in your heart.
I feel like one of the things that you've been taught very early is that failure is not the end. It seems like you've been taught that very early, and that you'll keep pushing and you keep going. And your parents have done a wonderful job. You, as the audience is saying, Amanda Kelly says, "Congratulations, Serilina. Stay grounded as you are, and you will go far."
Thank you very much.
Lovely attitude and presence. We've got Talia Iris says, "Congrats, Seri."
I miss Talia.
So continue to be great. We're going to be rocking with you and in your corner. Looking forward to supporting your endeavors as you go forward. But all the best to you, Serilina, and thank you so much for trusting our platform and waking up early to do this. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Serilina Fisher, folks, if you appreciated that conversation with the talented young Bermudian, please give her a thumbs up, a love, a like. Her energy, boy, she got me excited for the day. Love it. We're going to take our final break. We're going to come back after this break. We've got some daily play for you. I want to see if you get this daily play. So do not go anywhere. Stick with us. One day closer to St. George's taking that cup back.
Considering the increasing challenges faced by financial institutions, the need for insurance protection is a critical component of the risk management framework. At Friesenbrook, our priority is to safeguard your assets with the most optimal, cost-effective risk management cover to help protect your business, whether it be cyber, directors and officer liability, professional indemnity, or property insurance. Call us on 296-3600 to learn more about our full suite of competitive corporate insurance products. At Friesenbrook, we provide insurance you can count on.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC. Bermuda business starts here.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. Thank you so much to Bermuda Idol 2025 winner, Serilina Fisher, for stopping by. Folks, again, if you appreciated that conversation, do us a big favor. Give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Make sure as many people as you know have access to the stream online as possible. Let's support our talented, awesome young Bermudians like Serilina Fisher. Thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and of course HSBC for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. Folks, it's time for the Daily Play. I'm saying Daily Play. Yes, the Daily Play. Brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Are you ready? It's a remember when today. Hopefully you all know this. And if you don't, you will after today. Ruth Seaton James became the first Black person to head a government department in Bermuda in what year? Zane CT, big up yourself. That is the answer. 1966 is the correct answer. Yes, Ruth Seaton James, 1966, Ruth Seaton James. You're clueless, not anymore. You know it. Education, what's that? Adeline's one. Yeah, Ruth Seaton James became the first Black person to head a government department in Bermuda in 1966. 1966. So If you didn't know, now you know. Zena Trott says, thank you for these Bermuda history questions. Well, Zena Trott, all you have to do is purchase one of the 6 Bermuda Trivia editions, and you can have even more information at your fingertips. They are fun. You can find them at People's, Brown & Co., and many other stores throughout Bermuda. So Bermuda Trivia, a lot of these answers are in the Bermuda Trivia card game. ZNCT said these questions are perfect, especially with me back home in Bermuda for the summer. Make sure you get all 6 editions of Bermuda Trivia. Zine, make sure you get all 6. You can get all 6. All right, folks, got to wrap it up. I want to go back. I know I didn't get through all the comments. And folks, if I ever don't get through your comments, please don't take it personal. Sometimes, this show just moves fast. But regarding DEI earlier, we asked this morning, what are your thoughts on organizations rolling back on their DEI policies, DEI being diversity, equity, and inclusion? We also said, do you think DEI has been beneficial to Bermuda? I just want to get a yes or no from the audience, very quick. Yes or no? Do you think DEI has been beneficial? Just yes or no. And I want to read this comment while you're doing that. We had a comment from Tony Bridgewater, says, the All-Inclusive Human Rights Act trumps any organizational DEI policy. If we use that to guide cultural change, that is how the workplace and our community will see sustainable change. Appreciate that very much, Tony Bridgewater. But yes or no, do you think DEI has been beneficial? Suzanne Ingham says no. Okay, anybody else? Yes or no, do you think it has been beneficial? Just a yes or no. Like from your own experience. I'm not asking you to speak for any organization or any company. Do you think it's been beneficial for you? Just a yes or no. NTS says yes. Okay, NTS says yes. So we 50-50. No Suzanne Ingham, yes NTS. Zena Trott says no. Polly Rich says no. Dr. Anthony Richardson says no. Here's the thing. Personally, I think DEI was good intention by some people. But for most, it was a marketing ploy and PR by most companies and organizations. Something someone just said, Rosalind Famous, it doesn't apply to Bermuda. But that's interesting because there are quite a few people in Bermuda who've been given DEI positions in certain sectors. The data in Bermuda is so different from the data in the US. And what I mean by that, we love to latch on to what's happening in the United States. We have some serious issues as it comes to equity in Bermuda. But they're not going to be resolved by asking people who are not interested in giving up their power, be it political or economic, to others. You have to create that for yourself. That's the way that you're going to see real change. If you get into a position as a CEO, as, I don't like the term, but a minority per se, a woman or a Black man or LGBT person, whatever group that you're considered a minority, if you get into that position, be more than a placeholder, a statue, an optic. I know it's hard because you're making money that you probably would have never seen. But we can't think DEI is working and all it's doing is satisfying the emotions of a few. If it worked, if it was ever intended to work, Black women wouldn't be losing jobs in droves. We've got to figure it out. As far as the conversation with Serilina Fisher, I absolutely loved her energy. Only 15. She has some future ahead. But in such a small community, we've got to support young, talented people like her. They deserve our support. And she seems to have a lot of gratitude towards those who support her. There are lessons in her journey for all of us. Here's your daily inspiration. Whether it's Dame Flora Duffy, Connor Smith, and many others who have come on this show, there's been a common theme, and that is talent is nothing without the discipline to fulfill it. Folks, if you haven't already, whatever platform you're streaming on, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and HSBC for ensuring that we're able to pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. And we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Thursday. There is no live show tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are is out. Peace.